I've always seen on Instagram, probably mostly on Instagram, like they always sell those digital marketing courses.
Okay.
Is it that easy to do that and like get money? Is it that easy? Like I don't think it's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, good that you brought this question up, right? That every second reel advertisement that we see online is in a way selling you digital courses at 99 bucks, $5, etc. Don't fall for it. First of all, that's first thing I'll definitely highlight.
अभी के ज़माने में हर एंटरप्रेन्योर को एक कंटेंटप्रेन्योर बनना ही पड़ता है. So let's get started with our new episode of Startup Saga. Today we will dive into the fascinating world of branding and digital marketing. We have with us Himani Vaishnav. She comes from the journalism background. आप लोगों ने तो सुना ही होगा, ब्रांडिंग सिर्फ एक टैगलाइन और लोगों का गेम है, बट इज इट रियली द ट्रुथ? आज हम हिमानी के साथ ब्रांडिंग के इस इमोशनल और स्ट्रेटेजिक साइड को एक्सप्लोर करेंगे. सो लेट्स हॉप टू द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. It's very basic, basically.
Sure.
It's about branding basics. आपके लिए ब्रांडिंग क्या है? It's like a unique identity बनाना या फिर एक सिर्फ long lasting impact देना उस ब्रांड को?
So brand, like you asked me, what is a brand? So brand is very subject to everybody, not just everybody, but every startup founder, every entrepreneur, right? But to give you like a good technical gist, what a brand consists of is definitely the name of the brand, the unique selling point of the brand. So when we say unique selling point, what different is the brand doing from other competitors in the market, right? And then it also consists of tagline. So just to give you a good example to summarize what a brand is, right? For example, Tata. Now Tata, we all are aware of Tata, and we all know that if Tata is there, trust immediately comes in our mind. If Tata is there, the blue color immediately sticks to our mind. There is reason why this is happening, right? This is called long-term brand impact. The brand has consistently kept the colors throughout the same. The core values of the brand, not just Mr. Ratan Tata, but the employees, the culture of the company, it has been pretty much consistent over the years, right? So all these consistency also comes from core values, unique selling points, what the brand stands for. Very, very important when you start a brand is what the brand stands for, mission and vision. So just to give you an example, let's just say you are to start a startup 2 years down the line, you're planning to start a startup and you want to hire people, right? Of course, people are skeptical when it comes to joining a startup. They think, why should I join a startup? If I do, क्या guarantee है कि मेरी job रहेगी? Will I get the payout next month? Maybe next to next month मुझे salary मिलेगी या नहीं? वो हमेशा when you start a startup, when you are part of a startup, ये questions रहते ही है. But what makes people stick at startup is the mission and the vision of the brand. कि ये brand बन क्यों रहा है? किन के लिए बन रहा है? Who are we looking at? What problem are we solving? What target audience are we looking at, and what long-term impact we will be seeing, right? So all of this consists of a brand. So brand is not just the tagline and the name and the logo that you see, that's just the shosha that you see in the front. A lot of things happens behind the scenes, and the things that happen behind the scenes is what makes the brand a impactful brand, or let's just say a successful brand. So yeah, moving forward, I think I'll definitely give you more better snippets and ideas to help you understand what branding is, but definitely way beyond just the logo design and the tagline that you see.
जैसे आपने भी बोला कि taglines and logos is not the main part of the branding.
Not the only part.
Yeah, not the only part. मैंने मोस्टली एड्स में अभी देखा है कि ब्रांडिंग या जो भी डिजिटल वर्क रहता है, एड्स वगैरह रहते हैं, वो बेसिकली इमोशनली कनेक्टेड होते हैं, राइट? सो मीडिया मूव्स उसको कैसे हैंडल करती है? हाउ दे ट्रीट द ब्रांड एंड दे गिव द इमोशनल अट्रैक्शन टू द कस्टमर्स.
Okay, good question. I'll just tweak it a bit, right? So Media Moves, just to give you a quick brief of what Media Moves does, right? So Media Moves is a branding and design agency. So what we do at Media Moves is, right from, let's just say a founder comes with an idea and this is my idea and I want to look at this particular service area, right? So that's where we come in. We help the brand from scratch, right from brand naming what's really working out in the market, what's trending, what sort of domain names can make the search better, etc. Right? So right from the brand name and then moving forward to the brand story, etc. All these things comes in. So like you questioned, right, that how does Media Moves connect that emotion with the brand?
Yes.
So I'll give you a good example of that, right? So we usually work with startups, funded startups or mid-sized agencies or companies that are the brands that we work with. So usually people come to us for rebranding if it's a mid-sized agency, mid-sized company, right? They've done their branding before but they need a refresh branding. So a mid-sized company comes in, or most likely startups or funded startups come in, right? So when a brand comes in, if it's a startup, of course, the only thing that the founder can think of is what they decided to start, right? उन्होंने ये start क्यों किया? क्या reason था कि उन्हें ये company start करनी थी? So I'll give you a good example of one of the clients that came to us, and I think that will give you a good journey and the idea. So a fashion designer, she's based out of Delhi. She had come to us and she was extremely passionate and she wanted to start her own fashion design journey, right? She's worked with multiple big fashion labels, you name it, she has worked it with them. She had a very good experience. However, it was time that she felt I should start something on my own. And how do I go about it? She was confused in terms of the brand name, the niche that she could look at. However, she had one core vision which she was extremely sure about, was that जो इंडियन क्राफ्ट्समैनशिप है ना, जो कारीगरी हम बोलते हैं, जो इंडिया के एवरी कॉर्नर एवरी सिटीज में डिफरेंट होती है. फॉर एग्जांपल राजस्थान की कारीगरी डिफरेंट होगी, चंडीगढ़ की कारीगरी डिफरेंट होगी. सो शी कुड सी कि दिस कारीगरी इज एक्चुअली डाइंग, द क्राफ्ट्समैनशिप इज एक्चुअली डाइंग बिकॉज people are preferring tailor made outfits, people are preferring they are not into slow fashion, rather they are into fast fashion, everyday changes, right. Buying clothes on a weekly basis, something like that, right? So but she wanted to save the craftsmanship and she came with that vision and she said, Himani, this is what I want to solve. I definitely want to give out designer pieces to people who really want to embody their own authentic self. If you see designer outfits, usually very few people can connect to because not everybody has the same taste.
Yeah.
Some people prefer minimal, someone like us would prefer a minimal design, someone would prefer going extremely gaudy and going out of the box, trying to showcase their better personality. So everybody has different persona and different ways of dressing as well. But here the client wanted to ensure that she is reaching out to people who pretty much is someone like her, somebody who is extremely authentic, somebody who prefers minimal outfits, somebody who prefers, she is not actually the top of the room per se, but still elegant looking, some extremely comfortable in what they are wearing, right? So that's the kind of target audience she was looking at. This is all that she came to us with, and now it was our responsibility to build a brand on this. So what we do with startups here is we try to communicate with them. So we have a discovery session. The initial phase of ours is a discovery session wherein we ask n number of questions. I mean, trust me, my clients have told me, like one of the feedbacks we get at the end of the discovery session is, please keep the questions short. I mean, it made us think for a week long to answer the questions. And I'm like, that is what we want you to do, because this is a brand you're building, right? It's not going to be there just for 2 years. It's going to be there for years and years. We are looking at building a legacy, right? A brand like Tata didn't start with the thought of 4 years down the line we'll shut it, right? They wanted to build a legacy. So brands that want to build a legacy need to work really hard on their core, getting their core right, getting the foundation right, and then moving forward. So during the discovery sessions, what we do with startup founders is we keep pushing different sets of questions. We want to see the kind of answers they bring in, what sort of unique selling point they have, why are they starting, because a lot of time what happens is when you're filling a discovery form, you end up writing something that's extremely generic because you wonder what will others think about, what will they say, everybody will have some or the other comment, right? But when it is face-to-face communication that's happening, and when we make our clients feel comfortable, they open up. So we find a lot of things, maybe even from their childhood, we might just pick something and add to the brand story. So the emotional connect comes from the founder for startups for sure, and we try to dig in as much possible to ensure that we bring out the best and the authenticity and everything, and stitch all the elements together to build that narrative, right? So when it comes directly from the founder, what happens is there is no how do I say it? There is nothing fake in it, right? Because it's coming directly from the founder. Something that the founder is honest about, comfortable about. So जब brand narrative बनेगा, जब brand narrative जाएगा online, offline, digital space, ads for that matter, it would be extremely authentic and relatable. So that's how the emotional connect happens. Emotional connect हर किसी के लिए नहीं होगा, हर personality के लिए नहीं होगा, but she might be able to connect with one particular target audience of hers, or a certain niche that she is catering to, right? So that's how the stories come. As for ads, ads is an extremely later stage. So you begin with brand and you bring in the emotions to the brand. You consider brand as a baby, right? Like you're literally raising the brand, like the way you raise your baby, the same way you're raising the brand. So when that happens, branding has its foundation at place, and then you start making your websites, you start presenting yourself online, offline, you get brand uniformity at place, and then the advertisement comes. And then advertisements are basically a branch of the tonality, the communications, the target audience that we're looking at. So whatever you see, the ads that you see that you feel that you can immediately connect with, it doesn't happen as easily as you think it happens. A lot of behind the scenes happen, a lot of strategic moves happen to ensure that, okay, fine, today I'm going to, the kind of ad we will be building, I want to ensure that it makes this person tick. It relates only to people who had breakups. It only relates to people who are celebrating Valentine's. We think about this. We do not just randomly put out an ad. A lot of things goes behind it, and one of the major part play that happens is the brand communication. So that's how the story and the emotional connect is built over time, but advertising is a very later stage. Yeah.
That was an amazing answer, हिमानी. तो अभी आपने ब्रांडिंग का एक बेसिक आइडिया तो दे दिया. सो अभी हमारे ई सेल के अंदर बेसिकली बहुत सारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं. सो हमारा जो स्मॉल ब्रांड्स हैं उसकी ब्रांडिंग के लिए आपको क्या लगता है कहाँ से शुरू करना चाहिए एक स्टूडेंट एंटरप्रेन्योर को या एक न्यू स्टार्टअप को?
Got it. Yeah. So see, a lot of college kids, college entrepreneurs, like you mentioned, young entrepreneurs have started their business, and it's great to see that we've seen a lot of brands have actually become big. Even I started at a very young age. I started at the age of 20, and it's been going great for me as well, right? So usually for brands which are slightly short on funds, or let's just say slightly short on in terms of the kind of expertise that they need, etc., there are few things that they can definitely take it up. So online बहुत सारा data available है in terms of getting the basics right of the brand. So when we say getting the basics right of the brand, what we mean here is that you'll find a lot of questions online. You can actually put out or maybe search something like discovery form for branding, or you can actually check out brand basics, stuff like that, right? And you'll have a set of questions that comes in. All that a founder has to do, be it a small business founder or be it college students starting out their own business, all they have to do is answer those questions honestly and with utmost detail. Once you have those in front of you, once you have all those answers in front of you, you'll automatically start stitching them together. So when that happens, at least you have clarity that, okay, fine, my brand is into handicrafts, but my brand, what makes my brand stand out is actually design, or maybe the colors. Maybe we are appealing to a very young audience. Maybe we are appealing to audience that are old, who really think about previous कारीगरी जो होती थी, previous craftsmanship जो होता था, जो designs होती थी, right? शायद हम उन audience को cater कर रहे हैं. So the moment you get this clarity, when you have all these questions answered in front of you, you can start stitching your whole story. So once you have these answers at place, your next step would be, how should your brand look like, right? Now, think of brand as a walking human. This is the best way to, ease it out. Think of if your brand was a human, how do you want it to look like? So for example, let's just say handicrafts में है तो अगर वो एक इंसान होता तो उसका look कैसा होना चाहिए? Should it be neon colors? So no, maybe. Should it be bright poppy colors? Yeah, possibly. Bright poppy colors are majorly considered as positive, or let's just say energetic, attractive, something that highlights energy, right? So these are certain keywords you will come across with. So you'll have to think of what keywords do I want to communicate via my brand. So if somebody comes to me and I run a handicraft brand, and maybe I am gifting, maybe I have just created a creative diya, right? And now I'll think of what words should be the closest to a diya. Maybe my diya has a very poppy color, so maybe I can look at marketing it as a gift that you can give to your friends during Diwali. Maybe you can look at that way, or maybe in fact you can also think of diyas from the viewpoint of festivities, right? So you'll just market it as festivals के around marketing होंगी or something like that. So the moment you start thinking of हमारा brand कैसे दिखना चाहिए, tonality कैसी होनी चाहिए हमारे brand की, right? Like if it is a brand that is into clothing, then am I catering to an audience जो बिंदास है, जो bold है, who prefer showing their personality? Then my communications would be bold and something wherein will shatter the boundaries. When we say shatter the glass ceilings, we say that. So a bold brand would do that. So if my brand is catering to bold kind of audience, then my communications for that would be like that. So when we say communications, it not just covers your brand narrative, but your tagline, your website communication. Would it be conversational? Does your website need to talk to the customer and be like, hey, I got you, grab a 20% off because I know you're a student? This is conversational. So if your branding is something that is catering to a young audience, then your tonality has to be conversational. If your brand is catering to a very bold personality, your communication has to be bold. If your if your brand is catering to, let's just say, a brand that is inclusive of all genders, that is not just inclusive of genders but empathetic as well. So your tonality would be more nicer, more welcoming and warm. Your tonality cannot be bold then, right?
Yeah.
So working on these things, depending on, okay fine, now I'm a poppy, my brand needs to be poppy in color and my brand needs to talk very energetically. So now you've got your colors, you've got your communications at place, like the tonality has to be this, that, etc. Now what summarizes your brand, right? Like for example, Media Moves wants to create an impact. When we say impact, I can literally go for hours and hours and give you a breakdown of impact, right? But when we work with brands, the best way to concise what we stand for or summarize what Media Moves does is a branding partner for impact. So we are your branding partner at all stages, and we are going to ensure that your brand creates impact, and we will be part of it. We will be literally hand-holding you right from the beginning of brand naming to your go-to-market strategy. So that's our tagline, right? Your branding partner for impact. So same way you have to think of what summarizes your brand better, and then come up with tagline. Usually one quick tip for people who are planning to have their own tagline: try concising it within 4 to 5 words and do not have jargons there, because tagline का काम ही है कि चीजें याद रहे. There are certain old brands which we think of, पहले इस्तेमाल करें फिर विश्वास करें. These are things that we remember of, right?
Yeah, right.
Reason is वो उतना attractive था और easy to understand था, quickly समझ जाता था, correct? So think of taglines in as simple manner as you can, कि अगर कोई 5-year-old kid भी आ रहा है और उसे जानना है हम क्या करते हैं, 5 words में वो उससे भी समझ आ जाना चाहिए. So always think of 5-year-old kid and think कि हमें इन्हें समझाना है, and then get your taglines right, get your brand narrative right. So once you have your colors, your communications, your tagline at place, you can build your brand narrative basis that. Okay, I'm catering to XYZ audience, I'm looking at these colors, I'm looking at this age graph, demographics of the audience, male, female, both. So basis that, you'll start making your story narrative. So this is the best way for founders to get started. Just get your hands on discovery forms, get your hands on certain basics of branding, etc. And I think post that you get a good start to begin with. And the best thing, so a lot of startup brands have this one common question that they come to even us with is, we have very limited budget, branding is done, how do we market ourselves, how do we ensure branding is out there? The best way to begin with is ensuring there's uniformity. So when I say uniformity, what we actually mean here is, if you have the logo in black color, ensure you're using black on every social media platform that you are on, be it your Instagram, be it your LinkedIn, be it your Facebook. Ensure there's brand uniformity. If, let's just say, you are communicating with your audience via website, the same tonality needs to be translated on Instagram. So that, let's just say today I have come and checked you out on Instagram, and when I go to website, I know there is no brand disconnect. I know, okay fine, ये लोग जो language Instagram पे बोल रहे हैं, same language website पे बोल रहे हैं. So that's how you start building brand uniformity and brand recall. So keep things consistent. Do not keep changing your brand colors. Like literally startups, I have seen people say that our founder didn't like the colors previously, so we just decided to revamp. You can't revamp within 2-3 months. You can't just be like, today I'm blue, tomorrow I'm going to be white. People are not going to register. We have to also understand that the attention span of people is literally few seconds. After all the digitalization that has happened, Instagram shorts, TikToks, reels, etc., humans attention span is literally 3 to 6 seconds max. आप उस 3 to 6 seconds में अपना ब्रांड कैसे याद करवा सकते हो लोगों को? That's the whole game that you have to play. So you can't keep switching colors, etc. So I hope these few tips should help. And then of course for logo designing, I completely understand you can't really afford a very big brand agency or a agency that charges you in lakhs and crores, etc. right? But what you can do is you can begin with possibly hiring a freelancer. There are certain platforms like Fiverr and freelancer.com, etc. wherein you can look out for a freelance designer. You can check out their portfolio. You can see at what cost they work. They have an hourly price-based system, right? So you can ask them to design it for you. And right now AI has come in. So AI is literally generating logos basis the kind of content you feed them, the kind of keywords you feed them. So to begin with, maybe you can start designing your logo this way. And then moving forward, as you get better, as you expand your company, you can looking at professional agencies who help you. Because another question, I'll just take a couple of minutes more to take this up, right? Another question that we've seen here that people ask is, if a freelancer can do a logo for us, तो हम बड़ी agency को इतने पैसे क्यों दें?
Yeah, right.
But the difference here is that a freelancer only comes from the viewpoint of design. He's just going to give you a design and he's going to limit you, be like, 2 set of designs I'm going to give, 2 rounds of revision is going to be happening. That's about it. That's not how branding works. When an agency comes in, when an expertise comes in, what they do is they do all sorts of research, right from competitive analysis, how are other brands performing in the market, what makes their audience tick, what can we do that we can overcome or overpower how other brands are performing, right?
Yeah.
All these things need expertise in every direction and dimension. So that's where an expert agency comes in, wherein they take care of end-to-end things. They focus on every minute detail and they build on the whole brand strategy and the brand journey. And they definitely don't limit you with 2 concepts and that's done. That's not how it works. A lot of iterations happen to get one thing right. I mean, you all must have seen the Jaguar logo right now, and you all have definitely seen two sides, right? There are certain people who are really happy about it. There are certain people who are commenting on it that, what is this? They just took away the legacy, etc. But what you see at present, even the current branding that you see of Jaguar, it's not one-day job. People might think it's one-day job and some amateur has come in and made it, but that's not the case. Every detailing, like one simple detail that I can recall is the symbol of the logo, right? The Jaguar logo that you see, it's been flipped.
Yeah.
The flipping basically indicates that we are moving forward. When we say we are moving forward in the direction of tech, we are moving forward in direction of making things better, we are growing. So even that one flip, maybe a common person might not understand, but it registers subconsciously. So all these detailing, possibly just a freelancer cannot do. Maybe he can do a fantastic job to get the design right, but the logic, the thought, the authenticity, the concept behind the whole business may not translate. So that's where an agency comes in. So you can look at hiring expertise after a certain point, maybe after funding rounds, maybe after you have expanded your company and you are growing. That's when you can look at a brand expertise coming in. But beyond that, I think to begin with, these small tips can come really handy, and yeah, I hope that helps.
Yeah, as you mentioned AI during this conversation, I would like to know, अभी आजकल जितना भी लोगो टैगलाइन मोस्टली जो जेंजीज है, वो जो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बन रहे हैं, वो लोग एआई यूज करके ही बहुत कुछ बना लेते हैं. जैसे लोगो हो गया, टैगलाइन हो गया, उनको वेबसाइट भी है ना अभी एआई बना के दे देती है.
राइट.
सारे ऑटोमेशन टूल्स अवेलेबल है. ठीक है, एवरीथिंग दे रिप्रेजेंट. सो डोंट यू थिंक कि वो एक रिस्क में डाल देता है जो ब्रांडिंग कंपनीज है और एक डिजिटल मार्केटिंग कंपनीज है?
Not really, honestly. See, AI is going to be there. Right now, what you see is just the beginning of AI. 5 years down the line, we have to coexist with AI. In AI, if you look at AI as a threat, AI is literally a threat to everything then, not just branding, marketing, but be a coder, be an, in fact, even a doctor for that matter.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
We were recently discussing how in China they're experimenting with AI models for hospitals and etc. Right? So AI is going to be there, and we can't really do anything about it, right? So we have to coexist. Now, is it a threat for branding, communications and marketing? Could be for certain people, but how we look at Mediamost is, it's not a threat, it's rather a plus one for us. We've already started integrating AI to as many levels we possibly can to simplify the work, to speed up the process. One, for example, when a researcher comes on board, of course, on average, they take 5 to 6 working days to cover up a brand competitive analysis in depth, right? But when we plug in AI, what happens is within a couple of days, or rather not even days, couple of hours, the research is in front of us.
Yeah.
So let's just say a client is coming to us with a very strict timeline of, let's just say, 30 days, 30 working days, and we want to close the whole branding project. We can say yes, because we have AI at place. We can automate a lot of systems. We can automate a lot of cold emails, cold reach outs that we do to certain clients for pitches, etc. This can be completely automated. So that's one thing. Research can be taken care by AI, etc. In what AI cannot yet do, I don't know about the future for sure. There is consciousness adding to AI. That is something that's in experimentations happening. We'll get to know maybe a few years down the line. But what I can definitely say right now is that AI cannot bring in that emotion yet, what humans can bring in. So when we were talking about how to bring authenticity and emotional connect in brands, AI may give you the top answers, but AI won't know how to stitch it together emotionally. Maybe if you feed the right questions, maybe if you feed the right points, AI can generate a narrative but cannot build the exact base. You will need that human interaction. You will need to understand what the founders aspirations are, what they look up to, how are they planning. You cannot expect a founder to sit in front of AI and just start typing, hey, this is my mission, this is my vision, give me a brand strategy. That's not how it works. So definitely not a threat yet, for sure. We can coexist. In fact, we've seen our business has done better post AI integration. We have integrated AI to many levels actually, right? Like I said, to research level. We have also we also in fact use AI at content level as well, or how we can bring in authenticity. How can an AI give us good content? Email generation. I mean, there have been times where clients cannot afford a photo shoot, but via AI you can literally do model photo shoot as well.
Yeah.
Image generation is doing exceptionally well, right? So these things actually help us get the brand a bit right, get the brand to scale better and faster. So I'd rather see it as a partner or coexisting, but definitely not as a competition yet.
Would you like to get into the brief how you integrate AI?
Like I said, so AI can be integrated at multiple levels. We at Media Moves are integrating AI right from the beginning. So let's just say when we have discovery forms. So initially how Media Moves starts is, let's just say a client comes to us with a demand for, hey, I am interested in rebranding my company. So the first automated mail goes out to them, right? So we have integrated AI there, wherein all these communications can be handled via AI, wherein automated emails are being sent in, the answers are being collected. We have automated AI at research level, because research is actually the core of starting to ensure that a brand becomes, right.
Yeah.
So at research level, be it competitive analysis, what sort of performance is happening in the market, what's the future of an XYZ niche in the market, etc. So AI is being integrated even there, wherein it can collect data from different sources, at the same time give you the source as well. Not just randomly claim 50% of small business owners are doing well. No, it gives you exact data point and where it is collecting it from.
Yeah.
What's the data source? So we have integrated AI even there. We are using AI in fact for image generation as well. So these are certain areas we've integrated AI. We are actually also testing out AI employees. I cannot discuss a lot on it, but there is going to be a time wherein an expert you can see an expert like an AI expert for specific niches. So like a research expert could be just an AI employee, something like that. So we are also exploring that direction to see how that can help, because a lot of startups cannot really afford to hire everybody, cannot really afford to hire senior level people. And the best way to ensure that you bridge that gap is taking help of AI. Maybe AI will cost you few dollars, but a human salary would cost you rather more. So even at that level, we are seeing integrations happening. We have also tested out, and we are still continuing to test out how that works. So yeah, these are different levels where we have integrated AI, and then of course goes without saying that website coding, etc. Wherever there is a need, we do take help of AI, because what a coder can do these days, AI can literally give you the same answers in translation. So these are different levels wherein we have integrated AI, and it's doing really well for us. Yeah.
I would like to go on to the digital marketing side. I've always seen on Instagram, probably mostly on Instagram, they always sell those digital marketing courses.
Okay.
Is it that easy to do that and get money? Is it that easy? I don't think it's the truth.
Yeah.
But I would like to get to know about it more.
Yeah. So I mean, good that you brought this question up, right? That every second reel advertisement that we see online is in a way selling you digital courses at 99 bucks, $5, etc. Don't fall for it. First of all, that's first thing I'll definitely highlight. So what has happened is, of course, when pandemic happened, everybody was at home. Everybody wanted to get started from home. People were unemployed, or some people lost their job, people got fired. And how can we start earning, right? So that's when a edtech boom happened in India. Not just in India, actually, I'd say overall also, but since we are looking at India, a lot of edtech companies got started during pandemic. A lot of individual people started making up courses online, right? And that's how they started putting out content, just to ensure that they make some money out of it. So that was actually the agenda of most of the educators who have started taking up all these small courses that you see. Now you can possibly enroll for certain courses, but always check for what sort of context are they giving you. What will you be learning from it, right? Would it be just covering the basics of digital marketing? You don't need a course, honestly. You can check out multiple blogs online, and there are certain free courses as well. In fact, there are certain government supported courses as well, which you can definitely enroll at, and you get a legit certification from there. So those courses you can definitely enroll into. There are certain classes who have performed really well. One of the classes at top of my mind that I can think of and I can definitely recommend is IIDE. It's it's a
Yeah.
digital institution. They have started. I think they have started enrolling offline courses as well. So if you're taking up any of their courses, they give you in-depth marketing details, etc. They give you activities to ensure that you are actually learning and applying what you're doing, right? So look out for credibility is what I would definitely recommend. Don't fall for those kind of ads that you see 99 rupees and you get a course, right? It is just like getting something at a cheap rate, but the quality would also be most likely cheap. So, and that doesn't really add on to your whole knowledge base per se. So, I don't recommend you fall for that. Rather, look for established institutions or maybe certain profiles who are credible enough. Do your background check, maybe via LinkedIn, maybe via ratings and reviews, maybe via checking how old the company is, what sort of knowledge they are going to give you in that particular course. So maybe doing your own research and then enrolling is much better. Otherwise, everybody has become a teacher, honestly. So
Yeah, right.
it's part of what people say personal branding. They've started giving a lot of insights, a lot of details about digital marketing, finance, this and that. But like even every finance advice comes with a quote, right? Disclaimer.
Yeah.
कि आप अपने हिसाब से देख लो, रिस्क रहेगा. Same thing applies to everything. So rather invest in something that has good enough depth and good enough credibility is what I'll say, and rest you can avoid those ads that comes in. Yeah.
सो मेरे को इतना डिजिटल मार्केटिंग के बारे में नहीं मालूम है. इट्स आई नो वेरी बेसिक. अभी जो भी ऑडियंस है जो ये देखेगी, आई मोस्टली थिंक कि उनको भी उतना डेप्थ में नहीं मालूम होगा. तो आई वुड लाइक टू नो फ्रॉम यू थोड़ा डिटेल में व्हाट इज डिजिटल मार्केटिंग.
Okay, digital marketing is a very vast topic actually. Like digital marketing consists of right from how your social media performs, performance marketing, meta ads, SEO, etc. All these are part of digital marketing. Content, designs, etc. All this comes under digital marketing. Digital marketing is like a big umbrella, and multiple other things fall into that, right? So depending on what your interests are, basis that you can go into individual niches. But digital marketing basically covers everything that you see online. So पहले offline marketing होती थी, जैसे पहले trucks आती थी जहाँ पे ads they used to do, right? You know, campaigns wherein they used to speak. प्रचार is the right word actually. जब प्रचार होता था offline. Now that we have platform, online platform, we can rather reach out to any country, any city for that matter. So there are startups booming from tier 2 and tier 3 cities as well. Let's just say someone sitting from Mysore is able to reach out to a country like USA, UK and making good money out of the services they are providing.
Yeah, right.
This is only possible via digital marketing. So digital marketing is huge, but to concise it, it is something that a marketing that happens online, on online channels. Channels could be your Instagram, could be your Facebook, could be your Google, could be TikTok, could be website, could be even, let's just say, blogs, integrations, videos, etc. These are all part of digital marketing. So yeah, depending on what the person's interest is, maybe you can go deep dive into that particular niche. But yeah, digital marketing is really vast and there's a lot of scope in digital marketing as well. So yeah.
How could you differentiate between branding and digital marketing?
Good that you asked me that question. What's the difference between digital marketing and branding? There's a vast difference. In fact, you cannot really compare each other. It's rather branding is step 1, digital marketing would be step 2. So branding is something that you start from basics, getting the brand right, and digital marketing is promoting when your brand is at a good stage, when you've gotten the brand right. Promoting is what digital marketing is. So you can't really overlap each other. You can't really say both are the same. Both are massively different. Branding activity actually helps you make you and your audience understand what the brand is. Digital marketing is basically just reaching out to ensure that what your brand stands for is reaching out to mass audiences. What problem you're solving, the kind of services you're providing is reaching out to the mass audience. So अगर brand base है तो digital marketing step 2 है to ensure that your brand reaches out to masses. So that's the difference between branding and digital marketing.
Okay. So, how would you see digital marketing and branding in the market? Like after 5 years, like in the next upcoming 5 years?
See, it's really difficult actually to tell you how branding and digital marketing is going to look like 5 years down the line, because we are seeing AI doing its job phenomenally and it is literally scaling. Like every second month, or let's just say every third day, we are seeing some sort of feature coming in, something that's making things faster, digitalizing, or maybe speeding up the process, right? So 5 years down the line, there could be a possibility of very few agencies actually existing, and those agencies, like branding agencies or marketing agencies, they would only be existing, one, possibly because they bring out the best in the brand, they bring out the best of the brand, they bring in that emotional connect, they have something to offer that an AI may not be able to justify it. Those sort of branding agencies or digital marketing agencies would most likely survive. Apart from that, I think other than that, most of the things would be automated. Like there would be people who would be actually putting up prompts really well and smartly and getting results out. So we can possibly also see that every third lane will have some or the other agencies booming with the help of AI. Maybe there would be just one person running a company and have like 7 to 8 AI employees, or could be just 2 people running who are extremely smart to make the most out of AI and run the whole company and maybe mint crores and millions actually. So we don't know exactly. I mean, at least I wouldn't like to quote something and be wrong, because 5 years down the line, we don't know how AI is going to look like. But yeah, brands who are able to establish themselves, build a mark for themselves in the market with the audience, would most likely survive by coexisting with the help of AI. So yeah, that's what we can look at.
Before wrapping up this session, I would like to know or get some advice for our young entrepreneurs regarding branding or digital marketing.
Okay, so regarding branding, actually, I think we pretty much covered in the tips that we were putting out. But yeah, definitely your founders, young founders are starting out their brand or they are getting into the entrepreneurial journey. Just ensure that you treat branding as equally important as you treat your product or your finances, right? Because your financing will also come in when you got the brand right, when you get the brand right, when you get the communications of the brand right. So branding is an extremely important thing for young brands as well, because we are looking a lot of competition out there in the market, not just young entrepreneurs getting into, let's just say, fashion, but every niche possible out there, be it fintech, be it AI, be it technology, coding, etc. Right? So it will only get harder and harder to differentiate your brand. It would be rather difficult to have 3 unique selling points as well, because every other brand is literally doing the same stuff. So what makes you stand out could maybe you have a technological edge, maybe you have a good team, maybe you have automations at place, maybe you can speed up the process, etc. These could possibly be your unique selling points, and this would actually make your product sell, and that's how you're going to get the finances. So it's really important to get your branding right from the base level, because even when you are reaching out to funding level, grants for that matter, you have to convince those investors, be it even an angel investor for that matter, right? They want to understand what your brand stands for. They want to understand what brand is without the founder as well, because the brand should convey everything. The founder need not be present offline, online at every stage. So the brand needs to communicate and stand for what it stands. So it's really important to have the brand right, because it will also ease out, I won't say like it will completely ease it out, but rather make it simpler to ensure that investors are interested in your brands. Your pitches are actually going to be heard by someone, right? So even to get to that stage, even to get access to grants, it is really important to get the branding right. So get that stage cleared off first, and then move forward, and you'll most likely see the kind of impact that's happening maybe a few years down the line. I wouldn't say branding is a game of get the branding right and within 1 month you'll become rich or your brand will be successful. No, branding is an ongoing journey. It takes long, but the kind of results you'll reap for a very long period would be immense, and that is something that most brands strive on. Most brands in fact keep investing in. We've seen a lot of big brands like Myntra, Jaguar, etc. They have redone their branding. They've invested a lot of money. We hear that XYZ brand's logo, the agency charged $1 million, etc. You see, these big companies are ready to put in so much money. So I hope you all understand how important it is to get the brand right, because if such big companies are doing it, then we all know they are doing something right and they are moving in the right direction. So a startup definitely needs it. So I think that would be my advice on branding.
Just one last question. Upcoming new brands and new entrepreneurs and new startups, they mostly get done with the digital marketing more than branding.
Yeah.
So what do you think, like what's the most important thing? Is it really digital marketing or branding or both?
So yeah, I think it's a brilliant question that you've asked, and that will again bring me to the point of step one always has to be branding. Even I have seen a lot of not just startups but rather good brands who've been doing really well in terms of the kind of ROAS they are making. They have fallen for this wherein they were like, branding is just logo chipka do, logo bada kar do. We've heard all of this. I'm pretty sure people working in digital marketing agencies could relate to it, that all that a lot of founders think of branding is logo bada kar do, branding ho chuka hai. But that's not the case. Brands who start digital marketing first, and when they see the kind of results they are getting, there's a very good chance wherein two scenarios happen. One is the brand is not doing well even after spending lakhs and lakhs of money, and trust me, we have worked with such brands who came to us wherein they said that we have spent lakhs of money and there's no sales coming in. We have done collaborations with huge brands but there's no sales coming in. Why? And my answer was, do you know what your brand stands for? And to which the founders gave us like, this is what the brand stands for, this, that, etc. I said, now look at your website, look at your advertisement, look at your communication. Do they communicate the same?
Yeah.
And they did. There was a stark difference on what the founders believed in, what the product stood for, and what they were actually selling. So it never sold for them, right? Be it, even if you get a very big brand ambassador, it is not going to stay. It will just stay for, let's just say, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, as long as that particular brand ambassador endorses some other brand, right? And then you'll forget about the brand. But what will make you recall the brand is the kind of authenticity it has, right? The kind of emotional connect it builds with you, the kind of standing or co-value it has. All these things are going to make the brand stay longer, not just in your audience's mind, but even, let's just say you're reaching out randomly wherein I just came across your ad on a metro station. If your ad is compelling enough, if your ad is conveying what the brand stands for, I may possibly recall.
Yeah.
So that's the difference, and people, especially good businesses who begin with digital marketing, usually end up doing a rebranding, or they do a rebranding activity once again. So it's like if you have you're spending a lot of money but it's going in vain. So rather spend it right, get your branding right, and then your next step would be digital marketing. So it's always going to be branding first, digital marketing second. It has to be something that needs to be followed upon. Otherwise, no, it's not. Your brand is not going to survive. You might see lakhs of sales happening for the first 3 months, but what then? Yeah. Why would I come to you? If I am buying a particular t-shirt from your brand, I may just not need that t-shirt once again. Why do I come and repurchase some other t-shirt from your brand?
Yeah.
Maybe if you start talking about quality, or 100 days later our t-shirt remains same, then I might be interested. But for that you have to communicate this. Where does this communication comes from? It comes from branding. It
Yeah.
comes from your brand persona, what the brand stands for, and the core values and the unique selling points. So yeah, I think that pretty much answers the question.
Yeah, it was an amazing answer. Himani, it was a great conversation and you redefined the branding statement in not just as a business tool but also gave us a new perspective regarding branding and digital marketing. Also, we are really thankful because whoever young entrepreneurs or the startups, whoever sees this podcast will get that idea of how to build a brand or a startup as an entrepreneur. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here. In fact, I mean, I am glad to see that how young entrepreneurs are coming out from such colleges. I mean, I just heard they have 24 businesses within their college itself, and faculty is also helping. So that's amazing to know, and I'm happy to see that I could add some insights and look forward to seeing the businesses from your college in fact and see how it goes. And yeah, you can definitely reach out to Media Moves or to me in case of any sort of requirements or any queries that you have. Happy to help because like we say, we are your branding partner for impact. So yeah, thank you.